Alright. Hello everybody, welcome back to Kholat. Now if I'm not mistaken, we should be at this camp right here. So let's see, it looks like we got the ones along the lake. See, I wasn't sure if we did that before I shut it off or not. Alright, so now we're going to be going into this cave system. Where there is... It looks like just 3 notes. And then our final point of interest that we actually have to get to finish the game is up in this section. So if we just head out the path from the cave, or not from the cave, from the camp, and take a short left, we should end up right in front of a cave that we can go into, and it should actually hold our first note. Oh right, I forgot that I have a flashlight. The only time I ever use it is when I bring up the map. Yeah? Ah, it must be up there. So this is a exit only cave, apparently. Yep. Guess I can climb up somewhere, but I doubt it. Okay, well that's fine. We just need to work our way that way and get to the other cave entrance. This should be the cave entrance that we need to go into. Like this here should be this entrance here, if I'm not mistaken. So if we just work our way left now, which may be easier said than done. I see another fire over there, which is interesting because I know it's not a campfire. I mean, we got the achievement and everything for finding all of the camps, all of the safe areas. Okay. Back outside now. Also, I don't think that's a fire. I think that might be one of the ghosts. One of the ghosty ghosts. Maybe not. It's a really smoky fire. I mean, it definitely looked like it, but at the same time, if it was and we were coming from the other direction, there would have been nowhere to get away from it, so... Okay, well I can drop down here. I mean, I'm still just trying to go left, but I don't know even how possible that is anymore, but as long as I stick to the left, we should, at the very least, make it back to that note that we could hear. Is that fire? Or is that another note? Oh, it would be a fire. Now I've got nothing. Not gonna lie. I got nothing for where we are in this cave system. I mean, since we went outside, I'm assuming... Yeah, we came in there. That would be the outside bit. And then we stuck to the left, so we might be here. So if that's where the drop down is, left should take us past both nodes. Whereas right would be the direction if we came from. Although I don't know what that direction is then. I guess that direction probably leads back to here, so that, okay. Assuming that I'm reading the map right, this way is the way we need to go to get our last 2 notes in the cave, and then our last non-story related note should be down that other path that leads to the final thing we need. Although I'm not too thrilled looking at this, but we're still inside a cave, so I think we're good. Because I was gonna say, this looks rather important. This is a cool fucking, like, shot here. Like, that's awesome. Okay, that I do believe is the campfire that we, or the fire that we saw before. I mean, this does actually look like I could go that way. Oh, I can hear a piece of paper though. Now I'm assuming that I can't go down there. Although it doesn't look like I can go this way either. I don't have a jump, right? No, all I got is a sprint. I mean... that definitely looks like it would be easier to progress that way, but... oh, let's try it. Oh, made it. Nice. It doesn't feel right. That's the second time that we've had to do that now, and it doesn't feel right no matter how many times. What? See now... what is that? The witness. All journal pages. Alright. Oh, right, because we have diary reports and articles. Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't know if that thing on top is, like, Russian or something. Like, this game does take place in Russia. And while, you know, they've translated everything else, that might not make sense if translated, so. Okay, I can... I see they have the good old crotch flashlight. It's a little bit higher up than in Resi 8, but still not at where people normally hold an actual flashlight. Especially not in situations like this. Pretty sure people tend to hold them up higher, so, you know, closer to their line of sight, right? Now, we're going to have to drop out of the cave when we get this other note, because I don't think that we can go back at all, so. But that actually should be our camp. No, it's not. No, don't be the thing I need. And I didn't look. Where was that note we just picked up? Oh, no. So, I mean, if we've been following the path, this can't be the last thing, because it doesn't connect that way on the map. Yeah, because that should be our exit right there. Oh, it is there. I don't know why I couldn't see it before. Will we ever find out what really happened? No. Another anniversary of the mysterious incident on the east shoulder of the mountain. Kholat Sakal. So, I think that's how they pronounce it, even though in the northern Urals passes by, and we are not even a millimeter closer to finding out the truth about the tragedy. Many different hypotheses created throughout the years caused the truth to disappear. A sudden avalanche, natives attack. Wouldn't it just be native attack? I don't think you'd put the S on the end of that. Military tests, or maybe, as some suggest, contact with an extraterrestrial civilization. What exactly happened at the night of February 1st and 2nd in 1959, whatever it was, it is crucial we remember about the 9 young people whose lives were prematurely ended. So that's all of, like, the newspaper reports. Or that should have been all the articles. Okay, so this... yeah, this is exactly what we were looking at before. So if we go down here, our campsite will be just up on the right. Yep. And then from here, if we just head up this way, head right into the, should be that cave right there, actually, that I was just looking at. Unless that's a cave we did go into. Yeah, that's got to be the cave we just went into. Or no. Huh. No, that's couldn't be the cave we just went into. Where the hell is the cave we went into? Ah, right there. There it is. Oh, so we can't even get into that other entrance then. I mean, that's fine. It just means that now, instead of going into this entrance and right to where we need to go all the way back down to where we dropped and take that other path. But that's fine. We know how to get there. That, didn't happen last time. But it's fine, because this should be our last note. You must come here, stop, your agent has gone missing, the pass is off limits, we don't know what's going on, 9 people are dead. Before dying, the agent asked, where is Anton? The truth is out there, and there's all the reports. So I do believe you've encountered the anomaly. Unlock the real ending, which we should get. So one of these is the ending achievement. One is for beating it without dying, which is probably this one here. This is for getting the real ending, which we should get now, especially since we just got all those achievements. I don't know. I know one of the achievements was bugged. Maybe it's that anomaly one. Okay. So if we just got this note, it's here, but it only shows 2 pathways. But like, I mean, it doesn't look like I can go this way because of that guy, but I mean, we slid down and everything, right? So in theory, we just got the note. So in theory, if we got multiple passes, we must be right here, right? So I can either go around that way or that way, and it should, in theory, not matter. Assuming that's actually where I am, I mean. Oh, maybe I do need to make it past that guy then. I mean, they could be trying to make me, like, get his attention and then loop around to go past him. But that, I don't know, that doesn't seem super likely, does it? But at the same time, with him being over there... Oh! Oh, look at that! That was it! That was the achievement that was bugged. Yeah, so there's been... When I was looking up the achievements for this game, there was a bunch of comments on this one saying that it was like very bugged and that people... Well, not so much that it was bugged, it's just that the people who got it didn't even know exactly how they got it. Yeah, see, he seems to be stuck in a loop. So I'm not even sure that I can get past him. I mean, it's the only way I can go, right? But yeah, he's like fucking pinging off the walls. Ah, damn, he got me. I mean, I feel like there isn't anything I could have done there. Specifically because he seemed to be a little bit bugged out, but see, and that's why I don't plan on going for like the no death run. Although it seems to be once they caught you, they do. Well, no, because I've had other ones catch me and not disappear, so I'm not quite sure why he just disappeared. I guess it just could be that he's fixed now and is doing like his full patrol instead of just the short little bounce around. Now, I don't know that I need to stay in the cave or go up that way. I really don't. But I'm going to assume that I need to stay in here. Like, alright. Clearly something's about to happen.
Whoever you are, if you are reading these words, I beg of you, help us. We are in a place they call Post Office Box 5. I don't know where this is. I don't even know what year it is. They are not allowing anyone from the outside to have contact with us. They lock us up in cells, 4 in each. I saw dozens of cells like that. They talk about something they called Anomaly 7. Every day we undergo tests, research, tortures. I have seen how they kill people. I have seen terrible things. Write about it. Let the world know. They conduct the worst experiments possible. They have something that we call the fear chamber. There is no way to say what will happen to the person that ends up there. Some come back, but are no longer themselves. They are absent. Others are dragged out dead. Only few stay sane. I have seen a bright orange light which spoke to me in demonic voices and showed me things worse than any nightmare you can possibly dream. Sometimes people come out of there with broken bones, mutilated, crushed, irradiated, dismembered. I can't take it in anymore. Take away these images. There is a scientist amongst us. He said that during their sick experiments, they discovered something out of this world. They are trying to test it. The truth is that it is testing them. He told us that there are more places like this around the world, and there will come a day the gates of hell will open. You have to stop this. Destroy it. Destroy us. Kill us all. The center is governed by something that is called the Soviet Research Unit for Natural Phenomena. I have seen this on an ID card of the man that was interrogating me. He said we were prisoners, convicts, murderers, rapists, thieves. But that is not true. I have done nothing wrong. I hate them all. They call us subjects. No names, but subjects. I am Subject 73. I don't even remember my real name. I beg of you, please help us. Burn it all to the ground. If only this letter reached beyond the walls of the center. If only the guard who promised to take it has kept her promise. You have to do something. I swear by all that one holds sacred, you have to. My only cellmate, Anton, whispers in my ear that everything is going to be fine. That the orange light is singing in the voices of hundreds of angel choirs. Anton promised me that if I listen carefully to the singing, he will free me. Sometimes, however, I think that all of this does not exist. There is no prison. There are no bars. There are no doctors. There is no Anton. There's only this frightening, piercing orange light.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he was done, because, you know, we can't scroll down and see. Okay, well, the crying stopped. It's not necessarily a good thing. That doesn't sound nice. Okay, well, what the hell is happening? I mean, do we need to go back maybe to the circle now? I mean, that would make sense, right? I don't really see any indicators of where to go, but I kind of have to assume, right? Oh. Speleologist? Oh, and I explored the cave. Oh, okay. I don't know what the difference between that is. I guess I just found enough entrances or something. Okay, so this should be the true ending. Since I got all of the papers.
And so, we have reached the end. Have you understood your role in my plan? There are no random victims, and nobody is completely innocent. You may not agree, but when the gates to Section 22 open and the world will see true madness, you will understand that everything I had done was necessary.
Sure. Now, I do know that you can't die during this act. Because I do remember when I was reading the Make It Through Without Dying, you can't die in Act 1 or 3. You know, Act 2, you know, 95 or 99% of the game you can die, but, you know.
Do you hear me? I can see you.
Yeah?
What's your name? Right. Where are you? I can see you. What's your name?
I can.
I can see you. What's your name? You have to hurry. Do you hear me? Is that you?
I mean, I'm just heading towards this light because I don't know what else to do. I mean, I could have kept following the road, which may have led around to it, but... So where are the...
Doc? Doc, can you hear me? It's Anton. That's enough for today. The patient's results are deteriorating. Let's disconnect him. Shit! Turn it off! Quickly! Do it! He can hear us!
You've unlocked the real ending. Yeah. And the only achievement left is to beat the game without dying, which I don't plan on doing. Oh, whoops. There we go. Let's hit the credits so that they can play. I mean, it was a good game. Like I said, I don't remember. I don't know if, like I said, I really felt like the map and compass, one of the two was off. It could have just been that the character was holding the compass in a weird way. Because normally, like, if you're going to hold a map and face north, you're going to put the compass right up against the map so that it's facing north. But I feel like when I was facing north based on the map, my compass wasn't pointing towards the thing I was looking at. Now that could have been just because they were holding the compass at an angle, but I feel like that shouldn't matter though because it's round, right? Um, because I mean, even like that very first campsite and the circle. You know what? I actually am gonna hit back since somebody's singing and I don't want it to get claimed. Um, because like standing at the campsite, the circle should have been like almost directly south of us, but it was like it wasn't. Like it was more off than it should have been. Like based on where they put the marks on the map, it should have been south and ever so slightly east, but it was like not. So I mean, yeah. Other than that, story wise, I mean, it was good. It was weird. It was interesting. Clearly, we are one of the subjects, and I'm assuming that we are Sean Bean. Uh, I don't think the story really made much sense, but I mean, even finding all the notes in that, it's like, all right. Now, granted, I do believe that. Well, I don't know if they ever figured out what happened to them or not, but I mean, it's quite possible that at the time of this game they never figured it out. So they couldn't really put what happened in there, and they just used like all of the theories and that to to put together like the ghosts and the facility and whatnot. I mean, everything looked great. It was a great place to walk around in that. But yeah, the map not being accurate was a bit of a letdown. Because I mean, even taking away like the north not actually being up on the map, there was still times like you have all those roads on the map, but very rarely could you actually make out what would be considered the road when you were actually walking around, which was a disappointment. But overall, it was still definitely a good game. I feel like too much bullshit happened to me during that playthrough to go through it again and get the no death run. Because while I fully believe it's doable, like but there were still too many things that happened to me that I could not avoid. Like I fell through the world once. Um, there was the first time I died where which avoidable because like I didn't know where to go, but then the ghost just kind of spawned in front of me and killed me. Like it didn't seem like I don't know if that was just like the orange smoke had caught up to me and that's just how it kills you, um, or what. But it did, it just looked like the ghost spawned in front of me and killed me. And then that happened once again later when there was no orange smoke to kill me. And then obviously in this part here they had it where my only way forward was through a ghost that was pacing back and forth across like the 8-foot path, because he got stuck on the terrain or something and his pathing got fucked up. So I mean, I couldn't physically make it past him. Um, but in all honesty, I feel like the game would have been better if they took the ghosts out. Not gonna lie, like the ghost killed, like the killing ghosts there. I feel like it would have been better if they took those out. Leaving like the pitfall traps in that, like sure. I mean, there's supposed to be hunters in the area, so I mean that makes sense. The orange smoke, sure, but just like the ghosts themselves, I feel were kind of meh. Especially since like you had the black ghosts that turned orange when they saw you and came to kill you, but then you also had the orange ghosts that were always orange and were meant to direct you to places and did nothing and just disappeared when you approached them. So like if you didn't see one of the black ghosts and they turned orange when you saw and like you looked to see them, you may walk right up to it and kill and get yourself killed. But yeah, it was a decent game. It's definitely one of those games where it's like, ooh, we're not going to give you the whole story so that you can figure it out yourself. But at the same time, I feel like they didn't give me enough coherent things to put together. Because I mean, the thing at the end just makes it seem like none of it was real, right? Like we are in the facility, and like we're in the facility and in the fear room or whatever, right? just going through the just walking around in like a whatever the hell the machine they have us hooked up to is. But I mean, that's not really a very satisfying conclusion to a game like this, right? Like, because like you had the supernatural stuff, you had the hints towards uh, it being like a natural occurrence of some kind. You had thoughts, or you had the theories that it might be aliens in that, and they obviously went fairly hard with supernatural slash military involvement for it. But I feel like they really didn't. I feel like wanting to keep it vague and not actually like giving a conclusion really kind of hurt the ending. Because I mean, even like with the rocks doing that, if all of a sudden just like a UFO showed up and abducted us, I think that would have been a satisfying ending. It would have been weird considering how little they put. I think they only like mentioned that it might be aliens like in a couple of notes. So I mean, especially if like you spent the amount of time I did going around collecting all the notes and that. Also, I would absolutely despise not having a map to find all the notes in this game. There's absolutely no fucking way I would ever do that. Like if there wasn't a map, because I mean, you come across the things that give you locations for certain notes, but all of those gave you locations for notes that were like across the map, and obviously some of them you come across as you go towards the things you need to go towards, and they did an all right job directing you towards places you need to go. Obviously, on your map they had the locations that you had to visit, the coordinates for them. But even when you didn't have your map up, they still had like fires in the distance or something, so that you can at least be like, I need to go that direction, which is generally a lot easier way to navigate than just straight with like a map and compass. I mean, actually being able to like see landmarks is obviously way better. One of the hints in the loading screen was to like keep track of landmarks so that you to make it easier to navigate with your map and compass. But then they only have the major landmarks marked on the map. And even then, they don't have them until you've already been directed to them, you know? It's not like you see them in the distance and then it marks it on the map for you to go there. You had to already be there. Um, so, I mean, like I said before, I feel like there's totems in that. Like, I feel like there was definitely stuff that should have been on the map. And, like, when you're at them or at a camp, like, let's say, like, you find one of those totems, right? I feel like if you click on it, it should open up your map and mark it on the map, right? And then if you come across it again later, like you open up your map and it's there, but you know, not saying that you have to have you on the map. But then, like, if you find it again and click on it, it opens the map and it puts the cursor on that landmark, you know. So it's like here, like you are here, because like not everybody can navigate by map. The map wasn't correct anyway. I'm going to stand firm on that. The map was not correct. Um, so I mean, it would have been like a good indicator because obviously, as it stands, you have the campsites, which for the most part they're far enough apart that you should know which campsite you're at once you find one. And then whenever you found a note, it would mark it on the map. But a lot of the notes were in locations that didn't really have a whole lot to them, you know? Like they stood out a little bit, but at the same time, not enough that like if you can't, like if you were, let's say, looking for all the notes, like you didn't want to finish the game until you found all the notes. Um, so like, let's say you found a note and then you get lost and you end up back where that note was, like, let's say a half hour later. You may not recognize that location as the location of a note. And even if you did, let's say it's even like an hour later, you may not remember which note that was. So, like, you open up your map and all the notes are marked, but unless you remember what each location of each note looked like, that's not really going to be helpful, you know? So I feel like they could have made the navigation slightly easier by having, like, a landmark that you can click on and it'll open up your map, mark it on the map, and every time you click on that landmark, it opens up the map with the cursor on that landmark. Like, even when you open it up like at a campsite, it just opens the map. It doesn't open it up at the campsite that you're at. It just opens the map. So they could have done it with campsites. They could have done it with like landmarks. Like they took the time to place totems and other things around the map, right? Like there was plenty of totem locations. So I mean, and once again, you know, like you're marking the notes on the map. Your character can obviously keep track of where they are, since it's not like a thing you're marking on the map. Your character themselves marks it on the map for you, which means at no point is your character lost. So, and obviously they have no problem marking stuff on the map. So it's weird to me that they have these landmarks that would be recognizable, but you're not allowed to, but like your character just refuses to mark them on the map. And while it may not have made my playthrough much easier since I had a map up with the note locations, so, you know, I never had to return to an area. But, you know, once again, if you were somebody who didn't have a map up and you wanted to find all the notes yourself, having that ability would make it possible. Like, obviously, it's possible to find them all without knowing where they, like, without a map to show you where they all are. But it's ridiculous. But it would be absolutely ridiculous, especially since, like I said, the roads aren't marked properly. There are plenty of roads that just, like, you know, disappeared under the snow, and that, as they do in like, you know, environments like this. So just like something to make the navigation just slightly easier. Like I don't want them, like I wouldn't want them to just put like you on the map, you know, just have like a little arrow like in most video game maps, you know, you have your arrow, you can see which way you're facing, where you are. I wouldn't want them to do that because obviously they want you to navigate by the map. But at the same time, there are plenty of things that you can do as a human in real life when you just have a map, a compass, and something to write on the map to keep you knowing where you're going to go. Now, obviously, in real life, you can even write whole words on the map, or, you know, like things to let you know it's like, oh, this and then whatever, right? Like, oh, this path is hidden or something, you know. You could just write like an H with like a circle around like one of the roads where they split, because, you know, that's, or like that path on that road, that split path is like hidden. But yeah, overall great game. I definitely enjoyed it. It actually took longer than I thought it would to finish it. I didn't think that we would get over a half hour just finding those last 3 notes and the ending. But, you know, it also didn't feel like a half hour. But I mean, we did sit there for quite a while Sean Bean read that last note. But anyway, that'll be it for this game. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for a new spooky game. That won't probably be spooky, but, you know, I try.